What's happening? How are you doing? We are live from Podcast Movement in Los Angeles. I am Chris, and this is Podtastic Audio, the live edition happening right now as I record this very episode. I am coming to you from my hotel room, which is here at the downtown LA area, which is right across from the event, which is happening right across the street, right over there. But I am here for Podcast Movement. This is the live stream. I promised you I would come to you live every single night, and I'm doing it right now. So I'm coming to you from the hotel room. Now, let me tell you about the day up here, what it was like checking in, the whole thing about podcast movement. Now, listen, I have never been to any kind of like podcasting event of any kind like this at all. So this is a new experience for me coming up to an event like this. I'm not really in the corporate world, so being in a podcast event like this was a totally new thing. So I drove up here. I knew I had to check in this hotel like right around I'd say was it like 4 o'clock p.m. And with traffic, let me tell you, there was a ton of traffic coming up here. And so what I did is that I left right around noontime in San Diego. I figured 2.5 hours, maybe a 3 hour drive up here. But there was a lot of traffic on the way up here, especially the more you get into like downtown area, lots of traffic. So I grabbed some food, got my truck all gassed up, got everything I need, make sure I'm all packed up, ready to roll, brought the computer, and here we are. And I'm running all the way up to Los Angeles. And then my GPS said something like, hey, there's a big road closure or freeway close or something like that. I didn't say what, but Apple Maps like redirected me up the 15 over the 78 to Oceanside, then up north, and I went that way all the way up there. So that's what I did, and I got up there up to Los Angeles area. Had a little hard time finding the hotel, but once I found the hotel, I was in the hotel and I went straight to the valet because I'm like, you know what? There's parking across the street, but this is not like the greatest neighborhood and there's lots of homeless living around here and who knows what. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to drop my truck off in valet, pay a little extra, but if I drop it off in valet, maybe they're going to take care of it. At least maybe hopefully park it in like a secured area or some sort. I got to pay a ton of money for that. No worries. I drop off the keys. I go inside and I check into the hotel and I say, hey, room for Chris, blah, 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 whatever. Get all my information. Great. Give my room key. Great. I get upstairs up to the hotel here. And the first thing I do is I get my computer all set up and then I get like my bag all unpacked. I get everything put away how I want it. And then I'm like trying to figure out how to get the Wi-Fi on the computer to work because it's not working. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to do a streaming, like a live stream later today, how am I going to do it? If the computer's not picking up any of the Wi-Fi, it's not working, it's crashing. I don't know what the problem is. Now, I was like, you know what? I got time for this because I got to be over at the event to get my badge for Podcast Movement. So I kind of drop what I'm doing here and then I head over to Podcast Movement, which is like really across the street. The hotel, like across the street. It's literally not that far, but I didn't know that. So I'm looking for it on the map, and there's lots of other buildings like in the area. So I'm like literally walking around the street trying to figure out how to get over to the event center where the actual podcast event is going to be at the other hotel. And it turns out it's actually just right across the street, like literally like one crosswalk. I didn't even know that. So here I am running around like a knucklehead. Anyways, I found the event and then I'm looking around because it's a big hotel. They've got other events going on at the same time, other things. But I think Podcast Movement is probably like the biggest event going on this weekend. So I go upstairs because there's a big escalator thing, takes you upstairs, 2 levels. You go upstairs, and I finally see the Podcast Movement like sign, like the booth saying Podcast Movement this way. So I go over there, and I see a crowd of people, lots of people like going down this like corridor, and I see all these people there, all these different things, and different like booths and things like that. And I'm like, my gosh, well, I guess I better get in line. This must be the line to get your badge, because today they said between was it like 3 p.m. and like 7 p.m. is when you had to get in there to get your pass for Podcast Movement today. Great. So I go there, and on the left side, I see another like booth, almost like you check in for like a hotel check-in style of like people over there checking things in. And I'm like, well, maybe that's where I need to go, because this other line is going all the way to the end. And they said there is the Ambies, some kind of like podcast award thing going on, an event going on that same night, tonight. And I'm like, well, I don't have the tickets to go to that. So why would I go to that? And I asked the guy behind me in line, I'm like, hey, um, are you going for the tickets for the show? Or are you going to do the sign in to check in? Or what? How's this work? Oh, I think if you're just going to check in, you should go right over there. And there's nobody there. Great. So I hopped under the little rope thing and I went straight over there to the check in booth. I said, I think I'm checking in. Did they give you a QR code? I said, yeah, they did. So let me scan the little QR code on my phone. Right in the little scanner thing, my whole information popped up, my name, the podcast, my email, whatever. It all popped up on the screen. I said, that's great. Go ahead. And then I got the little pass. What do I do? It's over there somewhere. And I still have it. Of course, I need it for tomorrow. But I have the pass, and then I'm walking around, like perusing the hallway, and I'm checking out the cool different things. Now, all the vendors, all their booths were already set up, but they did not have any of the people working there. I guess they're coming in tomorrow or something. I don't know. So we're walking around. Well, I'm by myself, walking around, and I'm checking out the different booths, and I'm looking around, all these different people and all the different things. And then I realized there's an upstairs section. There's escalators that go upstairs. So I get on the escalator and I go upstairs, see what's up there. Now, up there, there's another section of like different booths set up for different vendors. Now, a lot of these vendors, from what I could see today, a lot of them are just like StreamYard, Libsyn, some other podcasting stuff is up there. I think a lot of it is industry stuff, a lot of AI stuff I've seen too out here. It seems like a lot of like, hey, send your podcast over here and we'll generate this wonderful stuff for you for your podcast. Lickety split, bada boom, bada bing. And that's kind of how they do it. And so after I did that stuff, I look at my email and there's a thing that says, hey, there's a big party going on downstairs in the hotel lobby where it's like a bar and like a bunch of chairs and tables, a big old get together thing happening at 7 p.m. If you get down there at 7 p.m., when the first one's down there, we're giving you a free drink ticket. I'm like, why not? Free drinks? Hell yeah. So then I head on down there a little early, and I see some people down there mingling and hanging out, and I don't feel nervous. So I go to the bar, and then I order myself a drink, and then I look at the receipt, and I'm like, holy crap, my gosh. So I see the receipt, pay for it, whatever. And then I'm hanging out there, and this lady comes up to me, and she's talking about podcasting. You know me, of course, I'm going to talk about podcasting. So she's talking to me about podcasting, and then I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, we start talking about different shows and different things, where they're from, where I'm from, all that kind of stuff. Heard her husband have a podcast. Great. They do that. And then I start meeting other people. And then I met the other two ladies who were talking about podcasting and stuff like that. I talked to them like the rest of the night. We hung out the whole rest of the night. We exchanged business cards, all that stuff. And I rarely drink. So I'm a little buzzed right now. So excuse me for that. But, getting's good, I guess. It's that's how I do it. So anyways, then I go over after we kind of went our different ways towards the end of the evening. I was getting kind of hungry. I said, I got to get something to eat because I've been drinking so much tonight with the free drinks and all that stuff. So I've been drinking. And then I go over to a Smash Burger, which happens to be like in the courtyard area of the crypto arena, which used to be the Staples Center. This is where the hotel is, in that little pocket. So there was a Smash Burger. I went over there, grabbed a burger, walked back to the hotel, which literally it's like across the street. It's like so close. I didn't know how close it was until I physically got here and found out how close it really was. It's literally nothing at all. Walk across the street, no big deal. Got my stuff. And here I am streaming for you. Although I cannot get the Wi-Fi to work in this hotel. I'm using my iPhone hotspot to physically get this thing done. And is it working? I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? But that is all I've done so far today. And it looks fun. I haven't seen any really events or anything happening tonight other than all the people that probably know each other and they're maybe doing their own thing and they're probably just hanging out and doing whatever they're doing and all that stuff. But most of the people I've heard here tonight so far are here for networking. They're here to network with other people and other podcasters or whatever it may be. That's kind of the reason why I'm here too, is to network with other people. So that's kind of why I'm here. But so much fun. And I cannot wait to see what tomorrow is in store for all this great stuff. But so far, this is day one. I just got here. And so far, so good. I'm going to be here tonight, tomorrow night, and that's it, I think. We come back on Thursday. So, but anyways, if you have any questions, you can comment, whatever you want to do. I'm going to try to live stream as soon as I get a chance to do it. It can't always be exactly your time or whatever. It's whenever I get done doing this kind of stuff, and we'll get it up and set up, ready to roll. So until next time, until tomorrow, happy podcasting.